Let's talk about the dragon. It's got to be one of humanity's oldest and most powerful myths, right? I mean, it pops up everywhere, from ancient carvings to the movies we watch today. But here's the fascinating part. Depending on where you are in the world, this creature means something totally different.
So what's the deal? Is the dragon this terrifying beast that needs to be slain, a symbol of chaos and greed? Or is it a benevolent god to be worshipped, a bringer of wisdom and good fortune? Well, the answer really just depends on where you're standing.
Okay, so before we dive into those massive cultural differences, let's just get a baseline. What are the core traits that make a dragon, well, a dragon, no matter where the story's being told?
It almost always starts with this reptilian foundation. Whether it's a serpent-like creature slithering in a river or a winged beast living on a mountain, the myth always begins with a powerful reptile-like being. And this blueprint shows up independently in legends from Asia, Europe, even the Americas, which is kind of wild. It really makes you wonder, why were we all dreaming of the same thing?
But once you have that basic blueprint, that's where the interpretation splits. And I mean dramatically. Two completely opposite archetypes pop up, creating this huge divide in the dragon world.
On one side, you have the Western dragon, a winged, fire-breathing monster, a symbol of destruction and greed. And on the other, you've got the Eastern dragon, a serpent-like, water-based being that stands for wisdom and good fortune. One guards treasure, the other controls the rain. This fundamental difference, it's the key to understanding the entire global mythology of dragons.
In the West, the dragon is pretty much the ultimate villain. It's a symbol of greed, hoarding treasure, and it represents this chaotic force that just has to be conquered. It's no coincidence the heroes from St. George to Beowulf proved how great they were by slaying one. You could even say the dragon is the final boss of European folklore.
But what if the dragon wasn't evil at all? I mean, what if that whole idea was just wrong? This single concept completely flips the script. We go from a world of monsters and heroes to one of protectors and gods.
Because, in the East, it's a total 180. Here, the dragon is the complete opposite of a monster. It's a revered being that controls these life-giving elements like rain and rivers. It was a symbol of imperial power, tied to the emperor himself, and celebrated in culture as a bringer of good fortune. You don't slay this dragon, you pray to it.
But this whole powerful reptile thing, it isn't just an East versus West story. It's a truly global phenomenon, with ancient roots stretching across nearly every major civilization on Earth.
What's really incredible is just how deep this myth runs. We're talking millennia here. Cultures that had absolutely no contact with each other, from Babylon with its chaos dragon Tiamat to Mesoamerica with the feathered serpent god Quetzalcoatl. They were all independently developing stories about these creatures. It seems like humanity has always used a dragon-like figure to try and make sense of the world.
So you can see how different cultures took the same core ideas, power, nature, wisdom, and just interpreted them in completely opposite ways. In the West, power is a destructive force, and nature is chaotic fire. In the East, power is imperial authority, and nature is the harmonious control of water. The dragon basically becomes a mirror, reflecting a culture's deepest values and its biggest fears.
Which, of course, brings us to today. So why, in an age of science and technology, are we still so completely obsessed with dragons? What is it about this ancient myth that still captivates us in our books, our games, and our movies?
Well, modern storytellers are no longer just choosing between East and West, they're blending the archetypes. Today's dragon is rarely just a monster or just a god. It can be a villain, a wise companion, a fierce guardian, or an untamable force of nature. And sometimes it's all of those in the same story. They've become really complex, which kind of reflects our own moral ambiguities, don't you think?
And maybe that's the secret to why they've stuck around for so long. It's this paradox. Dragons embody our deepest fears, fear of the unknown, of untamed nature, of overwhelming power, but they also embody our greatest fascinations, with that exact same power, with ancient wisdom, and with the idea that maybe there's still some magic left in the world.
So I'll leave you with this thought. If these mythical creatures really are a mirror for our values and our fears, then what does our obsession with them today show us about who we are? That's all for this one.